Bhakti yoga is described as the yoga of devotion. And even more important than devotion, that this is a practice of self-offering. And what that means in the context of yoga, in the context of a practice that leads us to a greater sense of union, is that we are offering that small sense of self, the personal identity, our likes and our dislikes, our relationship to other people in our lives. We're offering this smaller identity up into our greater identity or the cosmic identity. And so not only are we going to have chanting, restorative yoga postures, but there'll also be some guided meditation, some breathing techniques that sort of create the ideal condition for us to explore this cosmic consciousness. And the irony is that it's more the essential resting state of our consciousness than what we're used to experiencing, which is restlessness of mind and heart, a perturbed state of being. And so as you practice tonight, there's sort of this aspect of your practice that you're not going anywhere. You're not looking to achieve anything or to sort of attain an altered state of consciousness, but rather you're withdrawing your energy back into the body to become aware of what already is. And that's sort of the beauty of the practice, is that we can really allow ourselves to just receive, and our own inner nature and our own higher consciousness to sort of blossom right before our own eyes. So there'll be chanting in this practice, and you're welcome to chant with us, but you can also just listen to the words, especially if they're new chants for you. And chanting is to really stir the energy of the heart. And so often we hear about the restlessness of the mind, but very rarely do people talk about the restlessness of the heart. And this is the desire energy, or the energy that takes us outward, away from our center, with the false idea that if I get this, or I just do this, then I'll be happy, then I'll feel peace. And so we're really working through Bhakti Yoga to calm the waves of restlessness in the heart. And you'll hear me many, many times refer back to the spiritual eye, or Agya Chakra. And in the tradition that I follow, when energy is moving up the spine, patterns, habits, beliefs, things that no longer serve us are free to release out of the body. So rather than the narrative so often shared that we need to release downward through the feet, back into the earth, in this tradition you're drawing the energy up the astral spine, or the energetic spine in the body, and you're allowing that to evaporate out of your being. So again, if it's your first time, just enjoy the process. So we'll start without further ado. So you can go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seated posture. Cross your legs. You can sit up against the wall if you'd like. And you just want to make sure that your spine is free to be tall. If you need cushions underneath your knees, go ahead and find those little cushions to support your legs. And we're going to take a double inhalation through the nose, and we're going to dynamically tense the entire body. So what this means is you're gradually working your way into a full body tension where the muscles are vibrating, and then a double exhalation, gradually releasing that tension out of the body. So let's do it together. You can take a double inhale. Squeeze your muscles, squeeze the legs, the arms, the belly, chest, and then throw the breath out from the heart. Again. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze the neck and the face. Flush that energy out, and then from the heart. One more time with lots of vigor. Squeeze all of your muscles until they vibrate, and throw the breath out from the heart. Good. I don't know about you, but I need one more. So double inhale. Squeeze the muscles, squeeze the legs, glutes, belly, and from the heart. Good. You take a circle of the arms, inhaling, rising arms up above the head, And then exhale, just bathe the palms facing down and gently guide the energy down the spine, down through the aura, through the body. And take one more round, inhaling, calming the static of the mind. Just a gentle release of energy down the body. One more time, sipping full breath into the body through the nose. Gentle release down. You can face palms resting upward on the lap if you'd like. And we're going to start with a chant this evening that's called Who is in My Temple? And this chant is about awakening the chakras, or the energy centers along the spine. So when you hear the words, all the doors do open themselves, all the lights do light themselves. Feel that the doorways of your spine are opening for your consciousness to begin rising and expanding. If you need to change your posture at any time, feel free.
All
Just take a few moments in the silence that follows the chant to center your awareness into the heart. Relax the muscles. Very gently, you can begin to open the eyes. We're going to start with just a gentle cleansing of the spine, so you can remain in your seat, stir if you need to, and I'll just come a little closer to you guys to show. So you're going to start by rubbing the palms right in the lowest centers of your body. You get a little bit of heat generated here. Eyes can be open or closed. Good. Rub off to the side just to awaken. Over to the other side. Good. Inhale, draw that energy up the spine. So lift the palms, reach all the way up overhead, and very gently exhale, palms facing down. Spread the magnetic field around your body a little bit wider. Good. You come back to neutral, go right into the heart center this time. Just feel that you're starting to activate any energy that may be stagnant, any emotional frequencies that are hiding in the heart. And then when you're ready, the inhale takes you rising up, so lift the palms up into the sky. And exhale, spread that space around, opening the field around your body a little bit wider. Bathing the space around you with fresh prana. This time we're going to go right in front of the third eye. So rub the palms at the point between the two eyebrows. And feel that you're cleansing each of these centers of the body. When you feel ready to, you inhale and press the palms up to the sky. Feel the prana body activating. Exhale, release the hands down and around, painting the circumference of the body. Good. Last time, right above the crown of the head, so draw the hands up above. You're purifying the connection between your individual expression and all that is. Good. Just a few more rounds here. Let the body get a little active here so that it can calm down easier. When you're ready, the inhalation takes you pressing up into the sky, and the exhale is a graceful descending, parting the space around you. Just widening your field. Do a couple more activities like this before we go into our first pose. Soft fists at the heart. Take a double inhale through the nose. Double exhale, reach the arms out in front of the heart and let the breath stay outward held. So pause at the bottom. And again, you inhale when you need to. Double exhale, releasing out here and staying held out at the bottom for as long as is comfortable. We're activating the flow of energy into the base of the skull. And as you exhale and press the hands out, you're encouraging that energy to flow through the body. Like you're creating a vacuum with the breath. One more time. Double exhale out. Stay on empty for as long as is comfortable. If you can lift energy to the point between the two eyebrows, a little bonus here. And then taking your double inhale back to the chest. Reach your arms up overhead. And double exhale as you bathe the space around you in fresh energy. Okay, last little movement here. This is to dissolve any mental blockages in the body. You're just going to tumble the hands in front of the solar plexus, heart region. So really get a good tumble here. Keep tumbling. Hip fists are soft and you're spinning the hands around. pulverizing any habits of thought or thinking that are plaguing your mind. And then go, if you can go a little bit higher, careful by your face. And then inhale when you're ready, you reach all the way up. New life, new consciousness now flood my being. New life, new consciousness now flood my being. So we're going to come down onto our backs to begin our practice this evening. So go ahead and find your comfortable position. And just lie down nice and long on your mat here. Get your feet extended long, your arms reaching up above your head. And this is an opportunity just to squirm in your body for a few moments. So wiggle the fingers, press out from one side of the ribs to the other. You can point the toes. You satisfy any need to move out the energy in the body here. If it's head waving side to side. If it's muscles moving in the face, try rolling the lips, scrunching eyes and facial muscles. Some of us work knees in towards the chest and we do a little rolling side to side. It's just like that moment when you wake up first thing in the morning and there's this intuitive movement that we find. Just there's almost like a vibrating of the muscles, a vibrating of the breath that happens when we move in the perfect way. Feet down on the ground with knees waving side to side is another beautiful way to just kind of exercise that need to move the body so that we can truly be in stillness together. Try arms out nice and wide. Again, you can articulate fingers, you can spiral wrists. And then we'll take knees back in towards the chest when it's comfortable and natural. And you're going to hold each of your knees and just stir the knees out in circles, reaching away from each other. So we inhale as we extend the knees out, and the exhale, we seal that energy right up the spine, circling, softening in the hips. And all the while the breath is expansive. You're moving and shifting the foundational experience of your consciousness and your energy in this moment. If you've been in one direction the entire time, start circling in the opposite direction. Eyes are closed, and you can look up to the point between your two eyebrows. Cultivate a relationship with Agya Chakra, or the spiritual eye. The immortal words of Jesus Christ always come to mind when we start talking of the spiritual eye. If thine eye be single, thy whole body will be filled with light. If thine eye be single, thy whole body will be filled with light. Make sure you get into the feet as well. Curl the toes, circle the feet and the ankles. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can set your feet, as is natural, down onto the ground. We're going to lift into a bridge pose, not to stay, but just to rouse some more energy up the spine. So when you're ready, you can inhale and lift your hips up off of the ground, squeezing into the thighs, pushing into soles of the feet. And we'll repeat the affirmation here as we breathe steady. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. You can repeat these affirmations outwardly if the mind is restless, or inwardly if you feel that calm, abiding presence. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. Look to the point between the eyebrows and let a cascade, a springtime melt of energy and vitality cleanse the river of your spine. When it's natural for you to lower down, let it be calm and feel the hips reconnecting down into the earth, the sacral center, and wave your knees a couple more times here, flushing out the low spine. If you like arms above the head, take a few moments here just to reach them. It can be arms nice and wide. You can look in the opposite direction that your knees are falling. We're going to gently work our way into our first position, which is going to be a supportive bridge posture. So the easiest way to get into this pose is to lift your hips and slide a pillow underneath the space of the hips. You might start with one pillow. You might even fold a pillow if you'd like to get a little bit more lift in the body. And so you're setting the support right on the back side of your hips, the sacrum. And if you'd like, you can walk your feet a little bit wider and let your knees bridge together. Now, not everyone's anatomy enjoys this position. If it's uncomfortable, leave your legs as they are. And let's close the eyes down and begin to journey into the heart. And we start by feeling the breath rising to the top of your nose, the very bridge of the nose, up into the brain, expanding down into the torso, into the heart. And the exhale, releasing and carrying with it any energy that no longer serves this peaceful, expansive consciousness that we are cultivating. Just imagine with every successive breath that you are relaxing into a greater sense of spaciousness, of length between breath. And if the body is unable to settle into this calm, steady pattern of breath, you can always take a double inhalation and tense the whole body. By tensing the body, we're calibrating the energy in the way that it rises in the body, and then you release on exhale when you're done. We'll take a few breaths from the base of the spine. As you inhale, feel the energy washing up the body, expanding through the heart, right to the point between the two eyebrows. And as you exhale, imagine that your consciousness is starting to fill the room. And in this way, you might think like when you're steeping a hot cup of tea and the color of the tea begins to sort of stir and spiral outside of the tea bag, mixing with the space around and the hot water. In the same way, every time that you exhale, relax a little bit deeper and let your awareness rise and expand out beyond the boundaries of skin and muscle. You may have to actively engage the awareness for several more rounds before it becomes natural, but the inhale is rising up the spine, and the exhale, you're expanding and relaxing into a greater sense of awareness. And already there's a catharsis, a feeling of liberation from the cramping of this physical body. And you assume the inner posture of an angel, graceful, light and sweet. Just take a few more moments breathing that sense of presence into our body. We're slowing down, making a little more space. We'll have the affirmation before we leave the pose. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. Repeat that inwardly. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. Live in that consciousness. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. On the physical level, it's almost like if you've ever peeled open a pomegranate before, it's the same sort of quality of energy that as we relax, there's a gentle opening through the sacrum, through the front side of the hips. The space between the ribs becomes a little more malleable with each warming breath. Just like that, we feel the breath in a whole new way. Now, when you feel the natural inclination to stir out of the pose, just start to wiggle the fingers, even stand up onto the toes and lift the heels a bit here. And you're kind of articulating the muscles of the body, a little squirming and activation, feeling muscles wrapping against bone. When you're ready, the inhalation carries you rising off of your support, and the moment that you descend back onto the ground is of special importance when the hips begin to land back onto the earth and you feel this new orientation. Let the knees wave side to side if you'd like for a few rounds here. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and extend our left leg as long as we can out in front of the body, and we'll hold our right knee in towards our body. And we're coming in to a twisting posture. So you draw the knee up in towards the chest, still lying on the ground. You can set your supports over onto the side, and we're going to roll our way right onto our side. So all the way over so that both arms gather and we're lying on the shoulder. You may want a little pillow for the head behind you. Once you get comfortable here, you can slowly begin to open up through your top arm and expand. Some of us, as we expand the arms away from the side body, we can begin to come towards the heart or towards the shoulder. Others of us can open the arms all the way, and there's this beautiful sensation that begins to happen as we breathe into the bellows of our lungs, the cauldron of our belly, and we begin to stir that energy, vitality. a chant to take us deeper into this posture. Just take a few moments here. To remember within your own experience, your own guiding pole star, lifting your attention back to the spiritual eye again and again as you breathe. Feeling the sweet presence of your consciousness expanding beyond your body, returning to deep, restful, yet inwardly awakened consciousness. When it's natural for you to do so, with the rousing energy of inhalation, let the body slowly begin to stir, starting with gentle articulations of fingers, toes, and feet, drawing the breath, expanding from the center of your heart. If you can leave the eyes closed, we will transition very gradually on to the other side of the body. Rolling onto the back, you can take knees in towards the chest if you'd like, in between, and just enjoy a few breaths of respite. And we'll extend opposite leg this time and roll over as we join our supports on the other side of the body. The leg closest to your supports is the one that is lengthened long. Opposite knee comes in towards the chest, and you roll the whole body over so that you're lying along the side of the body, even the shoulder. And you can rest your head on a blanket or an extra pillow if you'd like here, just so that there's support and comfort. And then you can begin to expand your top arm at least over towards the heart, some of us towards the hip. And those of us go so far as to expand in a great T shape with the body. If you have a blanket close by, you might enjoy the feeling of a blanket over the body to insulate the awareness. Allowing the breath to take you deeper into your own internal experience. Nothing so much to do as to relax and enjoy the unfoldment of your awareness, the unfoldment of soul qualities in the heart. Feeling the waves of the heart and the mind, all restlessness beginning to subside with patience and calm abiding presence. And all the while, each breath is carrying the awareness back to Agya Chakra. There's a beautiful chant for this process called At Thy Feet, where we take the blossoms of our devotion And we lay them at the feet of the divine. So every time that you lift your energy in this way, we're offering these lesser qualities in our being back to the divine. If it's pain or suffering, lift it up through the spine. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. If it's bliss, expansion of consciousness, lift it up. Thank you for this opportunity. And each time that we do this, we fortify our connection with the divine. Take the time to feel yourself as more than just a body, more than a personality, but as a child. A reflection of the infinite. A unique reflection that nobody else can ever be like. Begin to feel that the devotional aspect of your practice starts to awaken. The heart begins to expand even wider. We'll have a chant to really awaken that called At Thy Feet, one of my favorite chants. Listen to these words and sing your soul song, your heart song to the divine. Listen to my soul song, listen to my heart song, listen to my soul song, listen to my heart song. In secret in my soul I will gather blossoms for thee, dipping them in devotion. I will lay them at thy feet, dipping them in devotion. I will lay them at thy feet. Listen to my soul song, listen to my heart song, listen to my soul song, listen to my heart song. In secret in my soul I will gather blossoms for thee, dipping them in devotion. I Just enjoy a few moments of silence. Before leaving the posture, shift your inner gaze back to the point between the two eyebrows and call to the divine in any form that you hold, beloved. It's our birthright to speak directly to the divine. It's the only contact that nourishes our soul, that quenches that unquenchable thirst. When you're ready, start with conscious inhalation, coming back to the body. And let the least amount of awareness come back into the physical body. Stay internalized deep inside. We're going to gently roll onto our backs for a moment. If you need to wave the knees side to side just to even out the time spent on either side of this position. But stay in tune with that invaluable jewel of presence in the heart. Look to the spiritual eye and offer that, your heart's longing, the deep devotion. The form of the divine I hold most, beloved, is the Divine Mother. I think of myself like the young child reaching with my arms up to the Divine Mother. Take care of me, carry me, teach me how to live. Never leave my sight, never leave my presence, even for a second. I can't bear this world without your presence. When you're ready to, we're going to come up through our posture here. If you can leave the eyes closed, it's ideal. We're just going to set into our supportive fish pose. If you're new to the position and you need a little guidance on how to set it up, feel free to open the eyes. You're just securing pillows the long way at the base of your spine. Make sure you have an extra pillow for your head so that your chin isn't lifting too far above the nose. In this version of fish pose, we're just lifting the floor to meet our spine rather than creating a sharp incline for our body to rest against. Just lift the floor with your supports and rest yourself open wide. Legs can be extended long. If you're choosing a different position, just make sure that the sensation of your body isn't taking all of your attention away. Palms are facing up, and you allow the heart to really bloom in this pose. Everything is a preparation for your heart to open in this practice. Just like the lotus blossom that rises from the muddy, murky waters, we're rising from these lower centers of consciousness up the spine, gaining greater and greater clarity until that moment when we break the surface, we surface through the spiritual eye into divine perception. The lotus of our soul begins to bloom and unfold open into the sunlight of divine consciousness. What a beautiful, meaningful experience. If you'd like to have a blanket over the body, then put a blanket. Take care of yourself. Hold yourself tender. You might take a couple of breaths if still needed to carry the energy up the spine and let it expand right out into the room. Fill the building even around you. Just because we're accustomed to the crampiness of this little physical body doesn't mean that it's our home. Expand back into your true kingdom, queendom, which is cosmic consciousness, as vast as the oceans of this earth. Relax every muscle in the body, and if you can, forget about the body entirely. The affirmation for fish pose: my soul floats on waves of cosmic light. Can you feel that sense of spaciousness? My soul floats on waves of cosmic light. Sometimes in the yogic world, it seems like our quest for union with the divine is like a mountain to be conquered through diligent practice. And what an adulteration of what this process actually is: a beautiful divine romance, a love story between your soul and the consciousness that gave birth to it. A homecoming of inexpressible bliss and joy, all desires fulfilled. Contentment and peace. And this final chant, I feel, really exemplifies this relationship. This chant is called I Give Thee My Soul Call. of my secret soul, come out of my cave of silence, come out of my cave of silence. Mother, I give thee my soul, 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 call. You can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. Give my mother a soul, soul, soul call. She can't remain hidden anymore. She can't remain hidden anymore. Come out of the silent sky, come out of the mountain glen, come out of the silent sky, come out of the mountain glen, come out of my secret soul, mother, come out of my secret soul, come out of my secret soul, mother, come out of my secret soul, come out of my secret soul, mother, come out of my secret soul, come out of my secret soul, mother, come out of my secret soul, come out of my cave of silence, come out of my cave of silence. Mother, I give thee my soul, soul, soul call. You can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. Give my mother a soul, soul, soul call. She can't remain hidden anymore. She can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. Without moving a muscle in the body, center all of your awareness at the heart. My beloved Guru, Paramhansa Yogananda, said that the only force that can draw the divine to us is our own love. That the divine willingly allows itself to be kept in the form of our love. the love that flows into our hearts is not born of our own being. That as we open the channel of our heart to more fully receive love, we find that force dissolving any hurt, any feeling of separation. We lift that energy back to the point between the two eyebrows, the transmitting station in the physical body, and send that love back out into the universe. And that which you give is returned to you multiplied tenfold in the center of your heart. Keep giving the love and feel the reception of it. We rise above the superficial desires of this dream world. Come back to the divine romance. Be gentle with your heart. We'll open as much as it's ready to in this class today. Let's take a few moments here in silence just to be alone with our own sense of intimate connection, free from restlessness of needing to move on to the next moment. This is a banquet that has been prepared just for you. That you may be alone inwardly. You're most welcome to remain inwardly transfixed in the consciousness that you find yourself in this moment. If for any reason you feel that you need to move the body, initially resist that temptation. And if I may, I would love to play just one more chant tonight. Some of you may feel the desire to return to a seated posture. You're most welcome to if you'd like to. Whatever Whatever you choose, remain inwardly fixed. This final chant, where is there love? In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. Where is there pure loving love? Where is there truly loving thee? There my soul longs to be. There my soul longs to be. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. Where is there pure loving love? Where is there truly loving thee? There my soul longs to be. There my soul longs to be. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. Where is there pure loving love? Where is there truly loving thee? There my soul longs to be. There my soul longs to be. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. In this world, Mother, no one can love me. In this world, they do not know how to love me. Where is there pure loving love? Where is there truly loving thee? There my soul longs to be. There my soul longs to be. Where is there pure loving love? Where is there truly loving thee? There my soul longs to be. There my soul longs to be. There feel that you're ready, let the gentlest of breaths begin to return back to your awareness. Ever present of this connection that you have cultivated. Followed by gentle movements, just enough to either roll you over onto your side for a very graceful transition. Some of us feel comfortable just waking back into our seat. Be gradual in what you choose, and we'll all return to a seated posture together with eyes remaining closed. I'm reminded in this moment of the story of the prodigal son, in which the wealthy father of two sons split his land between the two of them, split his wealth between the two of them, and one of them left the kingdom and squandered all of his wealth for himself in indulgence, in selfishness. And the time went on where he continued in this way until he was exhausted by his activities, completely cut off from the source of meaning in life and joy. He slumped back, ashamed of his behaviors, to the kingdom. And his father was overjoyed at his return and prepared a tremendous feast and celebration, saying, "My son has returned. He has come back." And isn't this the journey that all of us find ourselves on? Where we walk away from the source of our life and our consciousness, the meaning, and we squander our wealth in indulgence of the senses, distraction and preoccupation with desires, until we come that one day back to the abode of the divine, begging for mercy, for release. And each time the divine opens her arms to us and welcomes us back lovingly and prepares a banquet, a feast in our name, where we have returned back to the path. I'm deeply moved by this group this evening and this practice, and I thank you all so much for making this possible, for sharing your own energy, your own journey, and drawing this practice in to manifestation. It's been a joy, and it's reminded me personally of so many ways that I've walked away from the divine, and that I can resume my path back and be openly received in that way. So I pray that it has also nourished this in your heart and reminded you of the deeper, more meaningful aspects of this world and this experience. I encourage you, even if you can take one time a week, to come join us in this class. with the potential that we might get into this beautiful space each week. Sometimes it's just so moving. So let's go ahead and share this energy. You can take your palms into the heart and just rub them together. Let's pause just for a moment here. And I want you to bring someone into mind that could use physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual healing. Someone specifically that you have an emotional connection with, and see them enveloped in loving light. Pray for their best and their highest good. Just send silent blessings, rubbing the palms together. Get a little bit of heat, a little bit of vigor generated here, some magnetism in the palms. And then go ahead and extend the palms out into the field around you. Relax the entire body and feel that divine grace is pouring forth through your body, blessing this person. It's not your personal energy. Feel that grace coming through. Let's join in a closing round of ohms. We'll do 3 ohms. I encourage you to chant with me here. Let's take a deep breath and practice here, just to inhale through the nose. Open mouth exhalation, let out a sigh, let all the breath out. Go ahead, inhale to join. If you feel a good flow of energy from your palms, leave your hands extended. You're ready to draw them back together in prayer. We take a gentle bow of our heads. We bow to that place within us that is loving, that is wise, that is always divine. We bow to that place within all beings, no matter how they present to us outwardly, knowing that within each one of us is a reflection of the infinite. We bow to that infinite. Deep reverie and gratitude to all the great teachers out there as well. Namaste, everyone. Please take your time coming back. You can sit with eyes closed for any amount of time that you'd like. You can mute me and just dive into your own practices if you'd like. You can also say hello and express anything that you'd like to. I could go on and on expressing. I don't want to steal all the space for everyone, but again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today.
Thank you. Great class.